Okay, so I'll preface this case study by acknowledging that everybody is different, and therefore every body is different. Keep this in mind as I illustrate this athlete scenario that is highly individual. For context, my language used throughout is operating under the fact that I've had an in depth conversation with this athlete and understand her individual needs and goals. Now, Miranda is a 19-year-old female amateur Olympic weightlifter. She has future aspirations to compete in the Olympic Games with the women's national team. Miranda was raised by her parents alongside five siblings. Her mother is a paramedic, and her father was a former Olympic athlete himself. She draws much considerable inspiration from him, and he is the primary reason for her starting weightlifting. Now, although she was raised in an exceptional household, Miranda consistently engaged in altercations with her classmates, which caused both mental and physical abuse as a result of her weightlifting. Now, upon our meeting, Miranda was exceptionally vulnerable to me. Her self-awareness will be imperative in building our coach-to-athlete relationship. Now, discussing barriers, Miranda indicated many things that is going to be a challenge for both of us in developing this dynamic. Nothing that we can't overcome, but stuff that will be up to taken into account from a professional perspective. The first barrier she wanted to address with me was that that will require a little more nuanced approach to her diet and exercise. First of all, she adheres to a vegan lifestyle, meaning she doesn't eat, ingest, or use products that are sourced from animals. The reason being that she currently lives on a farm and she's developed a deep appreciation for animals. She is staunchly against the mass production of farming. Instead, she prefers more sustainable practices. She has practiced this lifestyle for the last 3 years and is committed to using it to achieve her weightlifting goals. Moving into the second barrier. Her second area to address here, she reporting body dysmorphia and binge eating habits. Since she started weightlifting at a young age, she was frequently outcasted and constantly shamed because of her physique. Despite being a successful student, Miranda was homeschooled throughout middle school due to torment from peers. She enrolled at a private high school and could never truly identify with herself or her characteristics. This will be something of grave importance to address with a myriad of health professionals and not just the coach, me personally. I will address more on this later. Now, barrier 3, during middle school, unfortunate circumstances arise. Miranda lost her father, her idol, to brain cancer. He was her coach and primary influence in life. This was a grave loss and put serious financial strain on Miranda and her family. Now, Miranda was raised by a single mother, working to provide food and support her and aid her to help with her Olympic aspirations. Miranda even got a part-time role as a personal trainer to help supplement some income that they've lost since her father had passed. Due to these constraints, Miranda has such a low budget for nutrition and needs further guidance on economically friendly food options that maintain her needs for strength and lean muscle tissue development. Now, moving into the personal challenges that I face as a coach here, there's a lot that can be talked about, and I'll address 3 particular things here that are going to be a challenge to my coaching practice and how I can navigate those later on. Number 1 is my perspective. Okay, my current perspective will be challenged with regards to coaching a young female, albeit I currently coach many young female weightlifters and have been for the last 5 years. But where my perspective may differ is that from Miranda's father, who is her primary coach. Considering Miranda has been solely coached by her late father for the last 5 years or so, I need to value what he offered to her. He was a coach, a father, a role model, and a caregiver. I can't provide all of this to Miranda, but I know my experience working with this demographic will provide value in achieving her goals. Furthermore, I need to be able to take on Miranda's perspective and introduce her to a performance climate of positivity and growth. Considering she has been shamed for much of her life because of her body type and the weightlifting habits that she has, I hope to share and bring empathy to the relationship that we have together. Number 2, the second thing I'd like to address is the experience. As it relates to her budget constraint, I am at a considerable disadvantage with my experience level. I grew up in a household where food was abundant and I was supported financially through all of my endeavors. So I need to acknowledge this first, that I lack the experience, and under these circumstances I need to develop strategies to help provide cost-efficient recipes for Miranda's vegan diet. Now, I did go to college for a period of time, and I lived on my own for a better part of a year now, so I'm no stranger to budget food shopping. This is where I can use my knowledge and my contextual expertise on budgeting for a standard diet, and I can try to apply this to Miranda's context and setting. Although a vegan diet and a standard diet are very nuanced and very different in a lot of ways, the way in which they're the same is certain products that you can get that are budget friendly that I can speak about later. Now, the last thing I'd like to address is the personal bias. Now, I carry a personal bias towards the vegan lifestyle. It can be considerably challenging to build lean muscle mass and strength while avoiding nutrient deficiencies within this type of lifestyle. However, and this is a big however, just because I have experience coaching to a standard diet that includes animal products does not mean I should turn myself off to the needs of my athlete. I need to avoid the common confirmation bias where I continue to favor my current ideas and beliefs. Further, I cannot fall prey to what they call the Dunning-Kruger effect in psychology. In this situation, because I'm not an expert on vegan nutrition, I may fall into this trap of oversimplification in thinking that I know everything. This is not the case at all. I have to educate myself within this context, and this will ultimately require reliance on other health experts and professionals. By working through this bias, I can help Miranda feel comfortable in taking my advice. Now from here, we're going to transition to the most important component in my eyes. How can I, the coach, work to grow and accommodate the needs of Miranda here? Personal growth for me is going to be astronomically important in building a relationship with Miranda and understanding that she has a lot of needs that I may have not experienced before, but I can work with a myriad of professionals and to get on the same page and to help her achieve her weightlifting aspirations. Now, looking to the personal growth, I like to ask myself a question first and then answer it. So starting off with the question number one, how can I accommodate Miranda's body dysmorphia and binge eating habits? Since Miranda falls under a bulimia non-purging type, I will need to build a team of professionals to help her overcome these obstacles. Since I can only help as far as nutrition advice and guidance, I will refer her to a registered dietitian who can work to incorporate proper nutrition structure and combat deficiencies within her diet. Moreover, I will bring in a psychologist who can help Miranda examine the relationship between dietary and nutritional intake patterns and her mood, behaviors, and mental health. The last component will be to set Miranda up with a network of individuals who are similar in age, gender, and needs. This will help to build her relationships and confidence within the sport while giving her the support system that she missed out on during grade school. Secondly, I asked myself, what can I do to address Miranda's budget concerns for nutrition? Well, to help with her nutritional needs, I'll need to take on a new perspective like I alluded to before. This will require me to reach out to other vegan weightlifters in my ecosystem, as well as a registered dietitian who can work with us to create an innovative, healthy, and low-budget recipe structure. This will take some humility on my end as I need to release a lot of the responsibility to another professional who I know will be more equipped to help Miranda. Additionally, I'll work to build a relationship with a local food agency that may be able to supply Miranda with groceries and meals at a reduced cost. I can also be involved with her eating by inviting her over to dinners as well as creating group events at the gym to support a healthier relationship with eating as a way to gather socially. Next, my question is, how can I limit my bias towards her vegan lifestyle? Well, continuing education is going to be the number one priority here. I need to be a sponge. Go out and learn from other health and nutritional professionals on the benefits of a vegan diet and the best strategies for building lean tissue and strength within her context. I have to work to change my current paradigm and acknowledge that there are many ways to get to the goal, and then this is one of them. This may include taking cooking classes, spending time on Miranda's family's farm, and conversing with other vegan weightlifters that have had success in following this lifestyle. And on top of that, asking other coaches and other professionals and trying to build a network, build a team around me and around Miranda that can help support her needs and goals. Now to wrap this up, I'll discuss the dietary approach that I'll have Miranda take on. This protocol is designed specifically to help Miranda build lean muscle tissue and strength. With that said, I'm choosing to keep her on a high protein diet, which is about 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. She's at 70 kilograms of body weight. Yes, this is above the typical recommendation. However, the literature shows that increased protein intake will be more satiating, have a higher thermic effect compared to carbs and fat, and will aid in further protein synthesis. I will encourage Miranda to follow this high protein diet while considering the transition of some of these calories to carbohydrates, especially on higher volume training days. Miranda will be on a reverse diet protocol, which will start at a maintenance of 2,700 calories each week and will build by an additional 100 to 200 calories. This will encourage proper energy balance and accretion of lean muscle tissue while coinciding with training volume. Miranda will be consuming a diet rich of whole foods, high fiber, and plenty of fruits and vegetables. Protein sources will come from tofu, tempeh, lentils, soybeans, and a plant protein supplement that I prescribe to her. Carbohydrates will consist of quinoa, sweet potatoes, oats, and sources of rice. And fats will consist of nuts, seeds, avocados, and peanut butter. On top of this increase in calories each week, I'll monitor Miranda's body fat in order to generate a better picture of progress in dietary changes. Because I'll have her on a creatine supplement schedule, I need to monitor her fat intake, as the increase in mass from creatine could lead to an additional fat gain over lean muscle gain. Therefore, when we first start the nutritional practice, I'll take her body fat using a skin caliper in the Jackson Pollock skin sites. Additional testing will be done every 2 to 4 weeks to ensure progress and adherence to the program. Not only will this help Miranda keep on track with her goals, but also help me and my fitness team and nutritional professionals to create the diet structure that's going to be the best in helping her build lean mass without building too much fat, considering that she has to keep a certain body weight for her weight class in the Olympics. For athletes that attach their emotions to their body image, like Miranda, this can be quite taxing and potentially dangerous and damaging in this setting. So it'd be wise for me to consult the aforementioned team of professionals that I'd mentioned previously in order to do these procedures in the appropriate setting and with the right message. In my experience with clients, if you don't give them the proper setting and the proper structure in, whether it be with weight, whether it be with measuring body fat, you have to give them the appropriate structure and let them know this is helping contribute to their goals and should not be a reflection of their self-image. So if I do not have the capabilities myself to explain that, I should refer out to a professional that I know will be well more equipped. So in this situation, Miranda has a lot to learn, and I have a lot to learn as a coach, and we're going to work together with a team of professionals to get her on the right track to make it to the Olympics someday. Thank you.